Welcome to the Fiercely Spiritual podcast. I'm your host, Sandra Ray, and I'm so delighted to have you here this week. This is our first episode since the new year and the Christmas break. So I just wanted to wish you a very happy new year, and I hope you had a fabulous break and you got to truly relax. That's one thing people I've been meeting have been talking about, that they just got to relax. And it's something that we don't do enough of. And when we go on holiday during the summertime, yes, we get to relax, but we also do a lot of stuff. We go around sightseeing, we take part in sports, maybe you relax by the pool, but maybe you do swimming. Maybe you completely switch off during your holidays, which is great. But I find when I go away, particularly to a new country, I want to see the things that are there to see. I want to see the sights. I want to go walking. I want to enjoy nature and I want to be out in it. And there's often quite a lot of doing, or maybe you're the type of person who goes on holiday and you drink for the entire week, spend every night out, and you come back exhausted. So with Christmas, with the holiday season during winter, I find that people do tend to switch off a bit. They just relax, and everybody's on holiday at the same time. Well, most people are. So you're not checking your email, you're not checking your phone, you're not worried about something that's happening back in work because it has shut down for the holidays. And you truly get to switch off. And I am just delighted that so many people have experienced that and have a chance just to replenish and rejuvenate over that time. So hopefully you got to do the same. So just want to mention, if you are not following me on Instagram and on Facebook, that I am at Sandra Ray Angelic Bodies on Instagram, Sandra Ray on Facebook. If you go over there and follow me, you'll get updates about what's happening, about courses, about meditations that I offer, free trainings, and just a little bit more insight into what I do each day to enhance my spiritual practice, to do what I do, and you'll get a little bit more insight there. So please, if you aren't already following me, head over there and you can follow me on those platforms. So today, what I wanted to talk about was getting into alignment. And it's something that we all know what it means to be in alignment. When we are in alignment, there is no disparity between where we're at, where your head is at, and where you want to be. So when you're in alignment, you feel good. You feel that feeling of being in that space of clarity, being in that space of your energy is high, your frequency is high, you're at the same frequency as the things that you want in your life, as happiness, as joy, as whatever it is. If you want to attract something into your life, a particular job or whatever it is, you feel aligned with it. And it's a place of knowingness. And I remember years ago when I was probably about 18 years of age, and I remember I decided to go to Paris for the summer with a friend. And I was totally in alignment with that. I resonated with it. It was something I wanted to do. It was something that felt good. And I'd made a decision that I was going to go. And then I told my parents that I was going. And they thought it wasn't a good idea. They thought I was too young to be going off on my own, that it might be dangerous, that it wasn't really the right time. And they sat me down and they told me all of the reasons that it wasn't a good idea and all the reasons why they thought I shouldn't go, and to think about it and to reconsider. So I did. I thought about it, and I can't remember how long it was. Might have been a day later, might have been a few days later. So I went back to my parents and I said, okay, I've thought about everything that you've said, and I've decided that I'm still going. And I went off to Paris and I had the most amazing time. And I was totally in alignment with it. I knew that I would have an amazing experience. I didn't buy into any of the reasons that I shouldn't go or the fearful things that might happen. I just knew that it was the right thing for me and that I wanted to go and nothing was going to stop me. I was convinced that I was going and there was no way that I wasn't going. So have you ever felt that way? Have you ever been in that state of knowingness, of certainty, of alignment, where you know something is for you, where you know you want to experience something or do something or be with somebody, and there's just total clarity about it? And even though some people might tell you it's wrong or they might give you reasons why you shouldn't do it, you don't even let that come into your energy because you are so strong, you are so aligned in your own energy with it that other people's opinions don't really matter. So what you may have experienced it, you may have experienced it more than once, you may have experienced it a lot, but most of us will have experienced this at least at one point in our lives. And what I wanted you to think about is how you felt in that moment when you were in total alignment, total certainty, total knowingness that this thing was happening no matter what, and that there was nothing that could stop it. You felt good, you felt happy, you felt free. There was nothing blocking you. And most of all, your own thoughts weren't blocking you because you knew it was a given. It was a sure thing. So that's where I want you to start from. If there's something that you want in your life and you know that it is right for you, but maybe there's some fears and doubts creeping in. Maybe you're thinking it's not realistic or it's not possible or that you're not qualified or there's some other reason why it can't happen. And I want you to get into a place of certainty that not only is it possible, but that it is certain to happen and that nothing is going to prevent it. Or if you get into that place of certainty that that thing will happen, that or something even better is going to come along for you. And when you are certain of the outcome, there is nothing that's going to sway you. Nobody's going to convince you otherwise. You're not going to change your mind every few seconds when some little doubt or some little fear pops up. You are going to stand strong in that certainty. You are going to remain positive and certain of the outcome. And you are just going to know it without any shadow of a doubt. So how do you get into that place of certainty? How do you stay in that place of certainty when there are doubts, when there are fears, and you maybe don't even know how it's going to happen? Well, firstly, what I'm going to say to you is to get into a place of clarity first, because often when I talk to people and there's something happening in their life that they don't want, something unwanted that they're experiencing, and I ask them what the ideal outcome is, they have trouble even knowing what the ideal outcome is because they're so focused on the thing that they don't want. So the very first thing is to get clarity about what you want, because you can't be certain of an outcome if you have no idea what outcome you want. So get into a place of clarity, do whatever you need to do, journal, meditate, go within, spend time in nature, be in a place of connection with your divine source, connect with your intuition. Just get into that place of certainty first of all. And when you have that certainty, then you can get into the place, clarity. When you have that clarity, then you can get into that place of certainty. So once you know it's for you, once you are clear about the outcome, once you know exactly what it is you want in your life, then you can start to get into clarity about the certainty of that happening. So you can get into the place of certainty in so many ways. You can raise your vibration so that you're aligned with it through music, through dance, through meditation, through whatever it is that brings you joy. So being in joy is one of the ways to stay aligned and to stay certain of the outcome. You can start to acknowledge any fears that are coming up and start to work through them one by one. So say you do want to take a trip to Paris, for example, and you're not sure whether you'll have the time or the money, or you're not sure if you'll have somebody to go with or if people will want to go. So start working through each of those fears. So take the first one, take the time part, and start working through the fear. Well, okay, I may not have 10 days holidays left, but I do have 3 days holidays, which I can potentially use to go for a long weekend. So then you go on to the next one and you start just working through and acknowledging each fear. Okay, well, I don't have the money at the moment, but I'm pretty certain that I can save it within this amount of time, or I'm pretty certain that I can generate some extra money through doing this, this, and this. Or I'm pretty certain that I will be able to receive more money by being open to receiving, even though I don't know how. I'm certain that it'll come to me. And then you look at, well, I don't know if I have friends or people in my life who will want to come with me. And then think about, well, okay, I'm certain that there's at least one person who will want to go. Maybe it's somebody I know at the moment. Maybe it's somebody I don't know. But I am going to be so certain of the outcome. I'm going to see myself with that person on my trip, and that person is going to come into my life, or they're going to present themselves in some way. And I'm going to put myself out there, and I'm going to ask my friends who would be open to a trip like this. And if none of them are, then I'm going to be open to somebody coming up who will come with me. And maybe at the end of the day, you're going to go, but you go on your own and you meet somebody over there. So be open to the certainty of what you want happening, but also something even better happening, and be open to miracles. And maybe it doesn't have to happen exactly as you saw it happening in your mind. Maybe it happens in a different way, but in a way that ends up being much better. But when you get into a place of certainty, when you have that clarity, when you have that certainty, when you work through those fears, and when you know without doubt that that thing is going to happen for you, then you open up doors for the universe to conspire on your behalf to bring it to you. But if you remain wishy-washy, if you think, oh, I'd love that to happen, but it's never going to happen for me, or if you say to yourself, well, that's great, that happens for other people, but I just don't have any luck and I'm not even going to bother trying. Or if you say to yourself, well, I'd love something good to happen in my life, but you don't know what that good thing is, then the universe can't bring it to you. You need to decide. You need to say to the universe, this is what I want. Thank you for sending it to me. Thank you for making it happen, and being open to receiving it. So I hope this has helped you in some way. I hope you have gained some clarity, some certainty, and I hope you use this in your life for whatever it is that you want to bring about. And I know that if you do get that clarity, and if you do stay in that place of certainty, knowing that nothing can stop you, then you will be an unstoppable force. Thank you so much for listening and for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.